You learned early that being good meant being quiet. The family photos where you're half cropped out. The dinner table conversations where you stopped trying to finish your sentences because someone louder always had a better story. Birthdays that felt like footnotes to someone else's year. You carry a specific label now, one you'd never say out loud but think constantly: unforgettable. I don't matter as much. And the evidence feels overwhelming. Your older sibling got the firsts, the attention, the expectations. Your younger sibling got the protection, the patience, the worry. You got the space in between. What if everything you think made you invisible actually made you the only one who could see clearly? You weren't imagining it. The attention did go to your older sibling's achievements and your younger sibling's needs. You were the one expected to understand, to not need as much, to be fine, and for a long time you internalized that as a personal deficit. But here's what nobody told you. That position you occupied wasn't a void. It was a specific developmental territory with its own rules and gifts. Imagine 3 plants in the same garden. One gets the morning sun, direct and intense, all the early attention poured into its growth. One gets the evening glow, softer and protective, everyone watching to make sure it doesn't wilt. The one in between, it learns to grow toward the light no one's pointing at. It develops roots in unexpected directions, not because it's weaker, but because it has to become resourceful in a way the others never will. Psychologist Alfred Adler spent decades studying this. He called it birth order imprint. The idea that your position in the family doesn't just shape what you experience, it shapes how you learn to solve problems, how you see yourself, how you connect. And middle children, you developed in the margins. While your siblings had clear roles, you had to write your own. While they had automatic audiences, you learned who you were in the quiet. That invisibility you've carried as shame, it was actually freedom. The freedom to become someone entirely self-authored. You weren't forgotten. You were building an identity no one handed you. When you're not the automatic center of attention, you learn something rare. You learn to read the room, to notice when someone else is hurting, to solve problems no one asked you to solve because no role was handed to you. You had to find your value not in a spotlight, but in what you contributed when no one was watching. And scientists have been tracking this. Studies published between 2021 and 2024 show middle children score measurably higher in prosocial traits, the specific behaviors that hold groups together: agreeableness, humility, the capacity to see past your own needs. The 2024 research calls it other-oriented development. You learned to build your identity not from applause, but from connection. Consider Daniel, a 34-year-old project manager. He grew up between an older brother who was a star athlete and a younger sister his parents constantly worried about. Daniel felt like a ghost in his own house. He stopped talking about his day at school because no one asked twice. For years he thought that meant he was boring, but what actually happened was this. He learned to find meaning outside the family script, through friendships, through work teams he quietly held together, through being the person others came to when they needed someone who actually listened. By his 30s, Daniel realized something powerful. Everyone in his life trusted him, not because he performed the loudest, but because he'd spent a lifetime learning to see people clearly. He became the kind of leader people followed, not because he demanded it, but because he made everyone around him feel seen. That's not forgettable, that's irreplaceable. Those family photos where you're half cropped out, you were never the one missing from the frame. You were the one learning to see beyond it. Every moment you felt overlooked was a moment you were becoming someone who didn't need external validation to know your worth. Every time you were expected to be fine, You were building a foundation no one could shake. If you've spent a lifetime being overlooked, maybe it's time to see what you built when no one was watching. You are not forgettable. You are self-made. You see clearly. You are the architect of your own identity, and that is the rarest power there is.